Series. And today I have my special guest. He's the author of the book Monetize Your Mindset, no other than Mr. Bart Merrell.
Thank you for having me.
Welcome to Book 101, Mr. Bart. And can you please introduce more about yourself?
Yes, I'm Bart Merrell. I call myself the side hustle samurai
Why is that, Mr. Bart?
because I've never done the real job thing. I've always just monetized my mindset. I look back on my life and I guess you could say I was lucky, but what does Seneca say luck is? Luck is when preparedness meets opportunity. And then I say you take action because if preparedness meets opportunity and you don't take action, nothing happens. And so I've just always had things happen because I was willing to take the risk and take the chance. And so
Indeed.
and so I've never
Indeed.
done the real job thing. I've just monetized my mindset.
Yes, I like that book. Monetize Your Mindset. Thank you so much for sharing your knowledge to the world, Mr. Bard. And let's talk about the philosophical foundation of the book. What inspired you to frame this as how to think book rather than traditional how to guide?
Yes. So it all kind of started. I was volunteering at a drug rehab center. And I was sitting there listening to one of the patients or the people who were there. They were telling their story and they were talking about how when they as a family would go out and be about amongst other people, they were normal. It wasn't until they got home that the abuse and the neglect happened. And so until she went to college, she thought everybody had the same experience that she was having. Out and about, they were normal. Back home, they were abused. And I was sitting there thinking, this also happens in the financial world.
Yes.
I grew up with a dad who wasn't just a farmer, he was an entrepreneur. He had his hands in many different opportunities that were all basically around agriculture, but he was doing many things. And he never set me down and taught me about the birds and the bees of business. He just led by example. And I watched him and I learned from him. And I was sitting there in that room that night thinking, if you didn't grow up with my dad or someone like my dad, you don't think like I do. And so I needed to share and help people understand how I think. And so that's when monetize your mindset started. And I started wanting to help other people find their ideal side hustle and create that financial security by monetizing the things that they already know and do because they're right there within their grasp.
Indeed, monetize your mindset, people. How do you define monetizing your mindset in a way that differs from conventional business thinking?
So I look at it like there's many things that we already do. I ask three questions. What do you like to do? What do you need to do? What are you already doing? Is there something in these things, maybe one, two, three things that you could turn into a stream of income? On average, millionaires have 5 to 7 streams of income. And monetize your mindset isn't about becoming a millionaire. It's just about creating financial security by not overlooking the things that we have right in our own backyard, the things that are right there that we already know and do. If that
Yes.
makes sense. Have you heard the story Acres of Diamonds?
No. Can you please share to us, mister?
So it is about a Persian farmer. His name was Ali Hafed, and he sold his farm. He went in search of diamonds.
Yes.
He died broke, alone in a foreign land. He never found his riches. The new owner of his farm found diamonds, literally acres of diamonds in what was Ali Afed's backyard. So the moral of the story is don't overlook what's right there. A lot
Yes.
of people who are preaching side hustle, they have an agenda of, come do my thing. I can help you do my thing to make you make money. I want you to fit in your box so that you do the things that you already know, the things that you love to do, the things that you want to do. I don't have an agenda of putting you in my box. I
Yes.
want you to find that. I say identify your ideal side hustle.
Don't overlook people. Look at your side. Probably is there. Why do you believe shifting one's thinking is more powerful than learning tactics when it comes to success?
So for me, I don't need to make these. So I take people through a process. I help them make these lists of what do they like to do, need to do, or already doing. Myself, it's in my head. I don't do that. Something that if something crosses my path, I automatically think, can I monetize that? And I don't try to monetize everything, but I think about everything. And and so if you can have that type of mindset, you're going to be aware of the opportunities that are all around you. Let me just share one quick example. I think people overlook the things that we need to do. Just a year ago, I had to have my left lower leg amputated. And I had 6 months to prepare for getting my leg cut off. And during that time, after the shock and awe was over of the doctor telling me that you're going to lose your leg, my mind said, okay, I don't like to do this. I don't want to do this, but it's something that's going to happen. How can I put that to my advantage? How can I monetize this thing that's going to happen to me? 6 months after my surgery, I contracted with my prosthetist, the guy that makes my fake leg. I contracted with him to help people go through what I had to go through. And if I hadn't have been thinking about that, when the opportunity happened, I wouldn't have taken action. But because I'm thinking about that, I'm able to take action. And so rather than having these lists of things to do, I have a list of things to think about so that when these opportunities present themselves, I'm ready.
Indeed. So let's talk about the mindset mechanics, Mr. Bart. What are the core mental frameworks in your book that lead to profitable thinking?
So it's really about awareness and being able to see these opportunities and take the chance. And so one of the things people are afraid of taking risk. But in order to do what I do, you have to be willing to take risk, whether it's a little bit or a lot. And it's going to be different depending on what your opportunity is.
Yes.
And so you have to be willing to take risk. You have to be able to analyze the risk. So this would be kind of more traditional thinking where, okay, another example is I'm a dog trainer. It's one of my side hustles is I love dogs. I've loved animals all my life. I've had dogs all my life. And I finally took the step because I adopted a Rottweiler that was an 80-pound puppy that didn't know the word no. And I started asking a friend of mine advice who was a dog trainer. And he says, we're going to train the trainer. So you should come and go through my program, a 2-month intense program. It cost almost $10,000 to do it. And so I took that $10,000 number. I took the benefits, how much could I make? And I analyzed, my expenses, my benefits, and came to the conclusion that this was a smart thing to do. So you have to be able to run the risk analysis and make a decision based on how many resources it's going to take, whether it's time, money, or whatever it might be, and then analyze that with the benefits of the outcome. What is it going to get me? And then make a decision, okay, it's worth it to me to do this. There's
Indeed.
a saying out there, it's called make sure that the lemon is worth the squeeze. If you squeeze a lemon and no juice comes out, you don't need to squeeze that lemon. And so you got to be able to do that.
Indeed, totally agree with you, Mr. Bart. And I think 80% of people on Earth are afraid to take the risk.
It is.
How does your approach challenge the hustle culture mentality of a modern entrepreneurship?
It's just a completely different approach. It's like I said, a lot of these side hustle or side business people are trying to get you to promote what they want you to promote. I am here teaching you how to promote and do what it is that you like to do. Whether it's piano lessons, whether it's nail wraps. I mean, a couple of examples, those are two examples in my book that one of them turned into a multi-million dollar deal. The nail wrap idea turned into a multi-million dollar deal in 5 years. Now, like I said, monetize your mindset is not about making millionaires. It's about creating financial security. And so the size of your side hustle doesn't need to, I mean, you need to do that risk analysis. The size of the side hustle doesn't make a difference. Is it worth it to you and what fits in your lifestyle? It's not about me and what I want you to do. I want people to fit inside themselves, inside their own experiences, their life experiences, and take advantage of those things. It's not about building my business or helping me build my business. It's about you building your business.
Yes, indeed. Let's talk about the psychological barriers, Mr. Bart. What invisible thought patterns prevent most people from monetizing their potential?
So there's two things that stick out to me when you ask that question. Number one, which is also the number one pitfall in doing a side hustle, is doing a side hustle that is right for you. If you pick the wrong side hustle that you don't like or you get tired of, it's not going to be worth it to you and you're going to fail. And the other thing is figuring out that, to help figure that out, you gotta have a memory jogger. And so I have a list of the top 25 successful side hustles for 2025 that I'd be willing to give to your audience. But that serves as a memory jogger to help you think about, oh, I could do that. And so it helps generate your ideas to where you figure out, oh, there's things that are out there. Once again, it goes back to figuring out what opportunities that are right for you and that are right there within your grasp.
Yes,
And then,
totally
then the,
agree.
the last one, of course, we've talked about already is people aren't willing to take the risk. That is a
Yes,
big barrier. You have to be willing to take some sort of risk to make things happen.
indeed. Go outside your comfort zone, people.
Exactly.
What role does self perception play in one's ability to create wealth?
So if you get in your head and your head, that negative self-talk, I'm not good enough. Let's say you wanted to be a piano teacher, but you're not good enough. You just started a little bit ago. Well, and this isn't my thought. This comes from Dr. Paul. He is a positivity psychologist, and he says To a first grader, a third grader is an expert.
Yes.
To a third grader, a sixth grader is an expert, and so on and so forth. So no matter at what level you're at, you're an expert to somebody. And so you got to get out of your head and not let that negative self-talk, I'm not good enough. There's people that make more money than me in business, but I'm still out there teaching people because I'm not trying to teach you how to be a millionaire. I'm trying to teach you how to create financial security by monetizing the things that you already have, which is something I have done.
Yes.
You know, I had to quit training dogs for 4 months when I had my leg cut off. And that was a worry to me, but because I had multiple streams of income coming in, it made that time less stressful.
Yes.
You know, so I talk about money isn't everything, or is it when you don't have any or you don't have enough? Now, money isn't everything, but if I didn't have enough when that happened, if I didn't have an emergency fund set aside, if I didn't have other streams of income coming in, that could have been devastating financially to people. And so
Indeed.
to money isn't everything, but it gives you options.
Totally.
One more thing that is an obstacle. Have you heard the quotation, master or jack of all trades, master of none?
No. Can you enlighten us?
So, jack of all trades means you know a little bit about everything,
But
but you're not really good at anything. And people throw that around like that was the end of the quotation. But here's the full quotation: jack of all trades, master of none, though oftentimes better than the master of one.
yes.
So it's meant to everybody uses it as, oh no, I can only focus on one thing. I can't be doing too many things. But the full quotation is doing multiple things, having multiple eggs in your basket is better than just focusing on one. And so I have to reteach people that no, that quotation has been used wrong for many years. Here is the full quotation. You need to prepare yourself in multiple ways.
In multiple ways, indeed. Let's talk about the practical transformation, Mr. Bard. How can readers identify if they are stuck in a tactic thinking versus mindset thinking?
Well, if you like I said, for me, this comes natural. When things happen to me, I naturally think, how can I monetize this? If you have things happening to you and you're not thinking that way, then you need to read my book.
Yes.
You need to get the list of ideas, the 25 for 25, and just think about, hey, can I monetize some of those things? Do I need extra income? Does a $500 to $1,000 emergency expense devastate you? Does it mess with your head? Does it make you worry? If it does, you need to change. But it's not up to me to tell you to need to change. You need to feel it yourself.
Yes, indeed. Mr. Bart, as an author, what will be your short term and long term goals?
So my big, hairy, audacious goal is I want to be the next Robert Kiyosaki.
Good luck for that. Go for it.
I want to be the person who teaches people how to create that financial security, to help people get their dreams, to get their financial security so that when life happens, they have the resources to deal with it. So I want people to think about, hey, can I monetize this that is just right here, something that I'm already doing can I turn that into a stream of income?
Good luck for that, Mr. Bart, and looking forward for your success. And what would be your advice for those people out there who want to monetize their mindset?
If someone comes to you with an amazing opportunity, and this isn't mine, sorry, I need to give credit. This is from Richard Branson, the Virgin Airlines. If someone comes to you with an amazing opportunity and you don't know how to do it, say yes and figure it out along the way. So if you have an idea, don't be afraid to just do it, to just start and figure it out as you go, because you don't know everything. I don't know everything. Nobody knows everything. They're just willing to try. So be willing to try. Like you
Yes.
said earlier, step outside your comfort zone.
Definitely, people. If you want to be successful, take the risk. And thank you for your advice, Mr. Bard. How would you apply, or yes, for applying these principles, change how we can educate future entrepreneurs?
So the way to you're going to have to change. You're going to have to look at those opportunities. You need to be aware. You just got to open your mind, look around, and say, "Oh, that's a great idea," and do it. The, I mean, once again, it's the book. It's I have just started a YouTube channel called Bart Merrell, the samurai side hustle, or the side hustle samurai. I got to
Yes.
get it straight. And I'm going to be sharing how to implement the things that are in the book, the things that I do on a daily basis. And when things happen, whenever they come across my view, how I think about these things. And so, once again, it's not a what to do book, it's a how to think process. And I will teach the principles in that process. So connect with me, get in touch with me. I would love to talk to you and explore the ideas that are in your head to your audience.
Yes, indeed. I like that. How to think. People, Mr. Bart will teach you how to think and monetize your mindset. Before we wrap up our discussion for today, Mr. Bart, I'm inviting you to please do listen to my other podcast, people, my other podcast, because my abstract essay is already in fifth season, abstract poetry in second season, and of course my book 101 review in fifth season, and comedy 101 in second season, Food 101 in its fifth season, too. Geography 101 and Love Letters are in its third season. And My Baby Podcast, Mental Health 101. Movie 101 Review and Music 101 in its fourth season. Science 101 and Sex 101 in its first season. Please listen to them wherever you listen your podcast. Mr. Bart, what's the first thought readers should consciously change after finishing your book? Monetize your mindset.
They need to put the principles into action. They need to make the list. Make the list that I talk about. What do you like to do? What do you need to do? What are you already doing? And then refine that list until you find a handful of opportunities that you need to try.
Yes, indeed. People, let's support Mr. Bart. Again, thank you so much for sharing your monetize your mindset to the world. So, can you please invite our listeners to support monetize your mindset? Go ahead, Mr. Bart. Where they gonna buy your book?
Oh, the website right there, bartmerrill.com. You can get the 25 for 25 the at offer one, OFFER one dot bartmerrill.com/25 for 25. And the YouTube channel I just started this week is Bart Merrill, the Side Hustle Samurai.
Yes, indeed, people. Let's support Mr. Bart because if you support him, more and more and more empowering books like this to come. So, Mr. Bart, thank you so much for your time.
All right. Thank you. I appreciate being on the show.
More to come, people. See you soon.